Thank you for tuning in with Enchantress. That's me, the babbler. That's me on this revolutionary rise of an uprise at this time. And so here I am, prompted to hit record. And so I do. It's this thing that I am learning to freely do. Express, even when the path or the next step is unknown. You know? It's like, hey. Hey. It's like choosing to listen to your own inner compass no matter what external noise might be taking place, and still stringing your own reins. No matter the distraction that can cause one to get distracted with. So here we are, getting to this place of here, now, ready, front and center. Breathing in this now, and sharing it. Wow. Yeah, so I have the Galactic Heritage cards again here next to me. And for whatever reason, the romance angel. So maybe you are tuning in and you have some love inquiries, my friends. And if you do, well, let's have some heart-to-heart conversations at this time. Honestly discussing your feelings with each other. You know, one of the most hardest things to do is openly be vulnerable, and be vulnerable with another too, and allowing for your heart-to-heart conversations to be true and authentic from you and real, not suppressed or oppressed, and be able to just be how you are when you are, but not forcefully either. And here you are, you see someone still distant or feeling that way. Remember, whoever it is that you attract towards you, especially if you're tuning into like my channel and stuff like that, like shush baby, that's not even nice. Alright, so be nice. Sorry, I'm not. So like, one of the most difficult or challenging, I don't want to say difficult because difficult makes too many excuses, like one of the most challenging aspects of building this rainbow bridge, well, not building because it's already there, like walking this rainbow bridge, is having heart-to-heart conversations that are not comfortable. Of course it's going to be uncomfortable because you're both vulnerable, like, and this doesn't have to be just intimate romantic relationships. You know, you have to seed the formation of anything that you are putting into existence or creation by building the blocks of the foundations you're building yourself. So heart-to-heart conversations are matter to, for you, should matter to you with the people that mean something to you. And it doesn't have to be just romantic, you know what I mean? So you have all these platforms of playing ground, of mastering your own skill, because the more that you in tune, attuned, and harmonious, are these waves, the more that you grow, I say live symbolic. New love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings? Say what? Maybe that new love is you. Yourself. I'm always going to go that route when I say, the wholeness vibrations existing within ourselves, like before being a thirst bucket, like seeking it from outside of our own wellness station, you know what I mean? It's living it like, a celibate lifestyle is, by choice, granted, because one of the most easiest things you can do is do that, stuff. Says keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. Okay, some of you have to release an ex. The time has come to clear your energy by understanding that energy. Why do you want to clear that energy to begin with? Like, getting into that inner scope records of self-preservation, being most real and honest with ourselves, no matter what stories we want to concoct and live and pretend and tell, or deny, or, however that's going to be in our lives, like, what kind of platform you're, like, selling. At the end of the day, still be as real as can be with yourself. You see, don't fall for that glamour filled puff. Poof. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Why are you going crazy? Andromedas. Yeah. So, any other messages want to come out from these romance, angel cards, oracle cards at this time for anybody that is tuning in at this time? Thank you for tuning in. I wish we'd converse more. What brings you here? How do these messages ever resonate with you? Sometimes I'm slow to respond, but I'll get to it eventually. Okay, nothing from here at this time. So, at this moment in time, doesn't mean there's no more messages. So I have the Galactic Heritage cards, which I did a reading on for the first time the other night, and I shared it on my YouTube. So check that out. I had a message in it. What are you both doing? But the overall concept of these cards is to explore the journey from unity to fragmentation, polarity, and back to reintegration. Okay. Since each of us is part of the same one consciousness and essence of it all, so fragmentation, everything happening all simultaneously at the same time, right? The holographic concept of just, parallels. And, ooh, my ears. Okay, yeah. So, that message. Anyone and everyone tuning in at these times, although these messages are timeless. What wisdom. Ooh, here we go. 108. Emptiness. Orient light. Future. Adds up to 9. Emptiness. Let's see. Future. 108. A future that would be empty. For me, without even reading, because these are new. I'm learning these cards too as I share them with you. But like even just this image and this depiction of the empty, and then look at where the empty is, right in the freaking heart. Like, what past actions did you make that your future creates a world, a life that feels so empty inside? Like, It's why I tolerate this life, because passionate and burn alive, like, you know, my heart beats this time, you know. May you receive full, no matter who you are, where you are, when you are, wherever you are. May your heart beat passionately for everything and everything that means something to you. Believe that to be truth. Emptiness doesn't have to be a part of your future. Who told you that? Why? Imagine taking off in a plane. At first, it is bumpy and the scenery is filled with many distracting things. This represents the mind. As you take off and fly through the clouds, it is like passing through the emotions. Sometimes there is bumpiness in the clouds. Eventually, you rise above the clouds and there is nothing but endless, empty sky. This is your true state of consciousness. An endless, empty field of awareness that contains nothing. There are no opinions or desires, only light. The Orient light within you, the sky, has always existed and always will. When you recognize this, you awaken. Commentary. The last 4 cards of the deck access the energy called the Orient light. It referenced the complete healing and integration of not only the polarity within the Orient system that has affected us all, but the polarity that played out with the holographic matrix of creation. This last card of the deck represents the end point of our journey, from unity to polarity to reintegration. The theme of this card, emptiness, refers to a state of complete integration and balance when polarity ceases and the consciousness of the one is at rest but ever abiding, both completely full and empty simultaneously. This card captures the energy of paradox described in card number 98 and is actually our true nature. It's like that saying, like, well, I don't know, I used to always say, like, I'm nothing, and I'm something, and I'm nothing. How nothing is something, and something is something like that. Anyway, okay. Adept meditators and yogis have experienced this state as various forms of samadhi. But the paradox is that as soon as we try to describe it, its true essence becomes distorted. It can only be experienced. So why did this card come up in your spread? Again, it depends on your life circumstances and the other cards in your reading. Most likely it's because somehow you need a reminder of where you are going, eventually back to the source. And a reminder about your true nature, empty, full, devoid of polarity. This card is meant as an encouragement for your spiritual journey and an embrace given to you by the source itself. Surrender to the embrace. Become nothing, and you will find that in that nothingness, the loving fullness of creation will be all that exists. That was pretty. We're nothing. Ain't that something? Girl. Isn't that funny though? Like how even just in this 3D realm of illusion, like being something means something. In this like society generation, like everybody wants to be something or somebody or heard or like, you know, acknowledged or, you know, something, which is the heavy that grounds or keeps the humans here, you know, cycling about over and over. New paradigm. Andromeda. Parallel. Not my cat. Where I was talking to her a little while ago. Andromeda. Parallel. 6, new paradigm. Ooh. Ooh. Every culture adheres to a specific paradigm of reality. Earth's paradigm has to do with polarity. The Andromedan paradigm is about experiencing the unexpected and being in a constant state of change. When we are in foreign terrain where we don't know the rules, we have to use our inner compasses to navigate. We all have one, but few know how to use it. This card tells you that change is coming, both to your planet and to your individual life. Learn how to operate in a foreign paradigm by accessing that inner compass. Your evolution can be not only painless but joyful. Commentary. The commentaries for card 3, 4, and 5 will help your understanding of how to apply the wisdom for this card, because the information provides insight into the nature of Andromedan consciousness in contrast to the challenges of life as a human being. Once we have made progress in acknowledging and living as our true nature, a fluid state of integration and constant change and evolution, the natural result is the creation of a new paradigm. This is one of the reasons for turmoil on Earth now. The evolutionary directive for growth is conflicting with the habitual fears of change. That kind of conflict creates a circumstance in which it seems that nothing on a societal or planetary level can move forward. Progress becomes stuck. While this may be happening on Earth now, it may also be happening within you. When you stop resisting change and always seeking safety, you create a new, empowered paradigm through which you can live your life. This personal paradigm shift greatly affects the mass consciousness field of Earth and fosters a planetary paradigm shift as well. But first, you have to walk into the unknown with the only map that matters, the one that comes from within you. The Andromedan consciousness is always supporting you. Their energy gently guides and encourages a profound personal and planetary shift in consciousness based on the pure, fluid nature of consciousness itself. New paradigm. Beautiful. Nice. New paradigm. New paradigm. New paradigm. New paradigms and just in how we make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Making the effort. Making the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Make the effort. Engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Again, you know that I can always go and make this all about herself, because the other video that I'm uploading kind of go into that direction too. You can apply this as something literal if you wanted to, but like, you know, think about the reality of whatever current life creation you are currently on and working on. Like, you know, making the effort in your own life to engage in your own well-being too. Read that like that too. Or that someone's coming in from your past life. You have known each other before. Someone is here, and maybe you are in some kind of partnering relationship that is ascending or coming together. When one makes the effort, the boy to the girl. That's how I saw it in the picture. So, yeah. I don't want to do that anymore. See? So what happens when you get to a point of vulnerability, sharing, of being raw, like, you know, and this is it. Like, it's like everybody always has to put on like some freaking kind of show, like some kind, they gotta do something, you gotta like present something, you gotta be about something, you gotta perform, you know, like, granted, even without a recording, I'm entertaining, even myself behind, you know, the scenes. But like, what is really vulnerable? Raw, like true. When everybody always has a camera crew. Like, why we just can't sit here and just simply be and breathe? Why does it always have to be something? Those that I can be around in just silence, I value those beautiful souls that we can just be in each other's presence and we don't have to say a thing and do our own thing. And so much is going on. And all these acts are still being done. Touching tips of icebergs. Creating next expansive steps. Fast, chariot-like. Changing each megapixel every single time to a different pixel. We live in such a responsive system. Everyone's so responsive, reactive, without foundation. Someone will say, what do you mean without foundation? I know why I feel the way that I feel, or that I say what I say, or I opinionate the way that I do. I got every bit of foundation as to a justification of a reason behind why I can justify this. What's anything but anything that we make it? So now when you strip that all apart and bring it down bare bones, like bare bones, nothing, flesh, remove everything. What conducts anything and everything. Right? And so when you think about the dominations of like the energies of just everyone and everything everywhere, it's so reactive. And that's like a crescendo of like energy just reactive to its surroundings. Can you conceive that crescendo? Battle spirit all the time, right? I don't want to do this. I still flip a card. Playfulness. That's what spirit says. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. And that's what I'm always doing all the time. Because inner tuning into the intentions, the babbler that is I, so that I may remain in my own align, no matter the external stimuli existing outside of this realm of perceived existence that influences, and I no longer wanting to be part of that resistance, blind to the pollution that exists and influenced by its tsunami abyss, that it's like a different kind of alchemic like spin off of something that will give you your role if you close your eyes and say, hey, 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 you gotta play this part, guys. Right there, read your lines. Surprise. What do you mean these are my lines? I didn't write the script. You read that line. You get that? Say this. Do that. Live that. Believe that. Produce that. Compute that. Build off of that. You get that? And so, you know, what is rebelliousness? You know? And so I just sit here, real. Like if you're here, it's out of, you know, pure connect and some kind of a fact. And the door that opens in this realm of healing vibes and energies, because you can feel that too at this kind of like quantum time of just this kind of leveling of a line, that the door opens, the door is open. It further expands. Infinite are these lands of understand, overstand, so that we can better command our vessel, our ship, so that we can create our quantum hits, giving our alchemy a fix. And so this is all we know. And the imprint has been already intricately sewn. So the only unconditioned that you can do is be clear in your awareness of the creation of ingredients existing all around that affect our stimulus, or stimulate us, el sol. And we react from whatever behavioral pattern of conditioning we have been accustomed or created to do. That's why awareness is super cool. So I feel guided to share this way. I know no other way. Anywho, the things we do. Free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. That is right. Maybe you're calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. As within, exudes on out. Engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Whatever that's gonna mean. And that's it. Be free to be whomever you are, wherever you are, whenever you are, however you are, forever and ever and ever. Infinite shall we continuously expand and reign supreme on these quantum multidimensional lands as we take a stand, knowing our stance, because we are so phenomenal in our ways. In tune we are with our mind, body, heart, and soul. We sing wholeness vibrations that pulsate from every single molecular structure that exists within our infinite beings. Expansive are we are. You see, by far, beautiful, I know that the seeds we sow, we ripple into effect. This quantum, deep, evolutionary uplift to every kind of energetic wave that goes along in the ethereal lands that produce stardust particles, clouds, air. Vibrational beings, conscious to see our participation as we meet and greet souls fleet, no longer sheep. So much soul, so much heart. Every element alchemizing our infinite structures. God, goddess, awake. Marching to the beat of our own drums, even though we still come undone, and this is fun, we still learn and grow. Infinite, we continue to sow. This we know. It's pretty cool. Thank you for tuning in with me, Enchantress. That's me, the babbler. That's also me.